step by step into a relationship. There's a beautiful analogy about the man in his cave and the woman in her cave, and there's a picket fence in the middle that you come, you meet another beautiful being, and you come out of your cave and you're like, what's going on here? And then she comes out, she's like, oh. And you're just slowly stepping in, step by step, coming into the middle, and you're meeting at the fence, and that's where you come into that union. And it's a slow process, and I feel giving this time is a really healthy thing to do to avoid a lot of pain for both parties. Sometimes we tend to sort of get really excited, and maybe we're like, wow, hello there, and jump the fence, and we're in their yard, and this can freak people out sometimes, and then they retreat back into their cave, and so this leaves the person floundering, going, where are they? And it can create maybe a neediness or a over emotion, which scares the person, because they need to take it slowly. So they're in their cave, and if you give them space, if you step out of their yard and back into your yard, your side of the fence, allows them, they will come back out of their cave. If you give them the space and the time, they'll come back out, and you can both come back into that dance, the courtship of coming together slowly, and the romance. Yeah, so throat chakra, then third eye. Third eye is your intuitive, all-seeing eye, so seeing into different realms and your intuition. That's a purple color, indigo. And then coming up into the crown. So the crown is like your connection to the universe. This is white. And through having all these chakras balanced and open, we create a field around our body, and really preparing our body for that energy to arise and flow through us. So with the practice of yoga and meditation, I recommend at least 20 minutes in the morning, at night. This brings us into deeper brain waves and clears. A monk once said to me, meditation's like gardening. You're weeding out all the different weeds in there, and you're just leaving space for the positive seeds. So every meditation is like a process of clearing the garden and coming into Zen. Back to the conscious breath, feeling that energy flow through your body, awareness coming out of the mind and into the heart. I found for a long time I was looking outside of myself for love. I was looking for that affection and that connection in others, and I would get into relationships sometimes that wouldn't be the healthiest, and over that time coming back to my heart. Actually, it was due to a really painful breakup, and I was just like, wow, I just don't want to be in a relationship unless it's in full alignment and I feel really met, and the energy flows between us, and there's harmony, and yeah, so seeing this pattern that had been going on after this breakup, I decided I wasn't going to be with anyone, and I just kept coming back to my heart. And for a year, I just focused on my heart. I just held the energy every morning and night, and during the day sometimes I put my hand on my heart, and I would just feel the energy in there. Through that touch of holding my heart, I'd feel this connection with my heart, and I'd come out of my mind, and I'd feel this radiance of love, and such a good, yummy vibe in there. Like, yeah, the more you tune into it, the yummier it gets. So I highly recommend this practice as well, just connecting with your heart, consciously coming down from the mind into the heart. Another good practice with the mind is the reptilian part of the brain is at the back, so that's your fear, your judgment, all these sort of elements maybe that are more the negative, and you can bring this down to your front. Your frontal cortex is when you're in prayer, when you're giving, your conscious thoughts, so always sort of bringing it down back into the front of the brain. And in any situation situation, if you need to address things to someone, I think it's important to be in this part, to consciously be able to communicate with someone from this part. And if you feel like you're in the other part, step back from the situation, regroup, maybe meditate, do some yoga, spend some time in nature. I think nature is one of the biggest healers. It's the most beautiful thing. It's something I'm so passionate about, is protecting the environment and yeah, spending time. I feel the most home when I'm in the forest, when I climb a tree or I'm in a creek. I just feel so at one and peaceful. Yeah, I really feel the importance of all of us really being conscious about the environment and try not to buy products that have lots of packaging. And write to the company, say, look, I'm not buying your product because you're over-packaged. I feel like packaging is so 80s. It came in with the Industrial Revolution and everything's just packaged. It's like, we don't need it. It's just landfill. Stuff just building up in the earth and creating pollution. And yeah, I can boycott packaging. And try to simplify your life. Maybe like, yeah, don't always have the lights on. Maybe use the candle, or just sort of be in the dark, sort of get comfortable with more simple life, the traditional life, just living with the earth and growing your own food and making your own things, just living simply and really being aware of the footsteps you take, that each step you take creates a print and ripples. So really being aware of that. Going more into Tantra. Tantra is really a path that we come onto in the quest, I guess, ultimately for enlightenment. So through these practices of becoming more conscious, becoming more aware, awakening our bodies, and really coming into that oneness, seeing the reflection in a tree or in an animal or in another being, that we're all part of the same energy, and to treat others and the environment in this way, holding it in our heart and respecting it and having that full honor for ourselves as well. I think it's so important to do the inner journey of giving acceptance and love to yourself, and finding that balance too between the masculine and feminine. In Tantra, there's sacred union is a big part of it, and just realizing the Shiva and Shakti. So Shiva is your pure consciousness, and Shakti is the energy, the movement, dance. It's the energy that flows, and they're both continuous. The ultimate goal is to come into union with the masculine and feminine parts, and to be in that union within, and for that energy to really be balanced, to not be overly masculine or overly feminine. We tend to have an aspect that dominates, so the practice here is to find the balance so that we hold both aspects of the masculine being more of that drive, the doing, the accumulating. Presence is one of the key points of the healthy masculine, so really being present. And the feminine, it's the nurturing, it's the caring, the emotions, and the healthy ultimate, I think, state in the feminine is surrender. And so when the woman comes into surrender with the man's presence, it allows her to drop into deeper and deeper states of surrender. So by really holding your presence and being there and being conscious, it really allows the feminine to just totally dissolve into that state of surrender and allowing that union with the depths that it can be. At that, and I'll come back at another stage, but namaste.